everyone, and welcome to Inside the Newsroom. I'm Maddie Paul. Inside the Newsroom, we bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area. And best of all, we bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about these trending stories that you see every day on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. Welcome to the digital desk. It's been a marvelous weekend, and I will say marvelous. I stayed in Sioux Falls this weekend, which is something new for me. Honestly, I'm always in Minnesota now on the weekends, but stayed in Sioux Falls, enjoyed the weather as much as I could, getting over a cold too, but then also kind of welcoming all of the fun fall vibes that were coming in, except for Saturday. Scott, Saturday was crazy.
Saturday was crazy.
Yeah, because you had the 90-degree weather in Sioux Falls, but then it was like so windy, but it was gorgeous, but it was windy.
So did you just watch it from inside, stare out the window?
No, I went outside.
So nice out there.
No, I went out. I went out to party. Ow, ow, ow. DJ
you went out to party? You went to a party?
No. Because I was trying to get over my cold.
Did you DJ?
I DJ here. That is here.
It's not
I get
allowed
paid
outside
to
these
DJ.
walls.
Maybe on a special occasion. Maybe I'll do weddings.
Hey,
Maybe we'll
why
see
not?
that. But I thought it was gorgeous weekend sticking around here. I thought it'd be a lot colder. But that was today. Today was the one
how
where
did
it was
you
a lot
handle
colder.
today?
I cried a little. I'll be honest about that.
Hey, don't cry too much. I don't want those tears to freeze.
Why? Because you'll see some snow?
Well, no, I just, not that we'll have temperatures that cold. Yeah.
Not here. Well,
Yes.
40s is pretty cold, Scott.
Yeah, but you can't freeze anything when you're in the 40s.
Yeah, that's true. Here's what I looked at Terry Peak, right?
Yeah, how
this
about
was
that?
This morning.
There you go.
Well, you showed me this, like, right when
And then you
we were
started
coming
crying.
Here. That would have been my second time. But it's just crazy to see because when you first showed me how much snow had already landed, because what, did it start at like 6 or earlier?
Earlier than that.
Earlier?
It happened during the overnight hours into, before sunrise. So, yeah, it's been snowing. That's the snow from, as you mentioned earlier this morning. I don't see any skiers out there yet, or anybody on a snowmobile. They're letting them do their thing. They're licking their chops. They're getting ready.
Would you sled?
Would I sled?
Yeah, with this much snow?
Probably no.
Do you think the snow is sticking that much from this morning's clip?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've had this
so?
heavier burst move through from the video that you see right now. So, yeah, it's sticking to the ground. Earlier it was just sticking to maybe the rooftops. We were able to get that with our live cam during KELOLAND this morning. But, yeah, now we're getting some accumulation on the grassy areas, maybe a couple inches total here and there. But, this is confined to the higher elevations of the hills.
Yeah, because
Rapid
this is Terry
City.
Peak.
Yeah, Rapid City, we're looking at temperatures today in the middle to upper 50s. They've had some rain showers this morning. They may be off and on as we go into the afternoon. But, yeah, this is for the higher elevations of the hills. And, this is more or less on time. The average first measurable snow in the Lee Deadwood area is October 4th. And today's the 6th.
Yep, the 6th.
So we're fairly close to that.
And you said this is the first snow for South Dakota?
Yes.
For this year, at least?
Of what I've seen.
Of what you've seen.
Yep. I mean, it really hasn't been cold either. We've been talking about these warm temperatures. We fell to the low to middle 30s, I think, during that first week of September. I don't think we had any precipitation in the area, though.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, we need some because you just had your drought monitor come out, didn't you? And it was not looking too good.
Yeah, we still can use some water. It's been very dry in southeastern South Dakota, and that's, been helping these temperatures warm well above average last week into the first half of the weekend. 80s, 90s. We were above average again yesterday on Sunday. A little bit below average today. Numbers in the low, maybe the middle 60s. The average high is around 67.
But it's not sticking this way, right? Like it's gonna go back up.
Yep, it will slowly moderate. We'll have another cold morning for you tomorrow. So bundle up. Did you wear your winter coat this morning?
I thought about it.
Did you walk or drive?
I drove.
Did you let your car warm up?
I did. On high.
Blare that heat.
Cranking, yeah. But I thought about the coat, but then I was like, I can't be that dramatic about it. It's a little dramatic, I think, right now.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow may be a couple of degrees cooler, near 40. We already fell to the 30s, but that was in, several weeks ago, that first week of September.
How am I supposed to go out and go pick pumpkins if it's like this cold?
You wear a coat. You don't wear shorts.
Have you seen, oh my gosh, I think it's so funny,
What?
like Midwestern weather for like high school boys. They
You're
will
acting
always
like
wear the
this is
shorts.
new.
I know, I always act like it's new, but it's just so exciting every time this comes around. Am I right? Come on.
You don't sound excited, though.
No, I'm
It's
not.
exciting for me. But I don't think it's as exciting for you.
No, not really. I get excited to see
The
like,
PSLs.
I was just about to say all the like consumerism stuff come out. It's so funny. You can see like if you go to any grocery store right now, you have Halloween
We
on
have all
this
the
side.
Halloween candy.
Well, on this sign you do.
Yeah.
But then on this side, Christmas stuff.
Yes.
Or like the winter holiday related items. And they're right
I'm all for it.
they're right there with each other.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I know some people say it's early, and yeah, sure, it's early.
You're just welcoming it. You embrace it.
Don't look. Oh, I embrace that stuff.
What about the warmer temps? Can you embrace a little bit of that?
I have been. You don't have a choice. The
Yeah,
weather's the weather. It's going to do what it wants to do.
It will do what it needs to do. Needs.
Well, yeah.
I don't want it to be so warm forever. I do want like a little bit of snow at some point.
For like 5 minutes.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I should be careful about what I say because I don't actually know what I want right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Not snow now, but I mean for Terry Peak. I mean if they're going to have snow right now,
Yeah,
like
that's
they did
great.
this morning.
You know, they're licking their chops out there. They want the season to get going. It's been too warm too long for them.
Scott, what do you have going on today for weather or not?
Well, we talk about that Terry Peak live cam with the snow that they received during the morning. We've had some light rain showers in and around Sioux Falls for today. And we talk about our trend, looking at, again, snow. We've been breaking it up to our first measurable snow. What's the percentage that will happen before October 10th, 20th, and 30th? Well, October 10th is around the corner, so I got rid of that one.
Oh, my gosh.
Now the dates are October 20th, 30th, and November 10th. So that's the trend we'll watch for our first measurable snow. And it happens in Sioux Falls around November 5th.
Okay, so now I have a date.
It's less than a month. No,
Yeah.
that's the average date. I'm not saying that it will fall on that date.
Okay.
I'm just saying that that's the average date. That's a month out.
I know, but I have to get my
Get
shovel.
ready.
I know. I got to get my hand warmers. I got to get my shovel. Maybe some hot chocolate.
So every day, do you put hand warmers in your gloves when it's winter?
No, I'm really bad about
Man, that's
using
a-
hand warmers, actually. I forget
That'd
about
be a lot of
them.
hand warmers to go through.
I was going to say, because I would just get too cold. But I don't know. I get forgetful. Like right now, I'm like, what are we talking about? Hand warmers?
Yeah. So you don't use them. You mention them, but you don't use them?
My brain.
You're just trying to fill the time, or what's going on here?
No, I just want to say whatever will please you the most. I'll use the hand warmers. But speaking of time, we are wrapping up on time, Scott. I got to talk to more people. We got some trending stories to get to.
All right. I'm
All
not
right,
trending
Scott,
enough
all
for
right.
it today.
You are leading the show.
Okay, because of that snow in the hills.
And it's going to get warmer.
Sure.
And you're Scott Munn.
Good for me.
And we're all excited to see you. Thank you for being here, Scott.
Yeah, you bet. You have a good one.
You too. And everyone stick around because, I mentioned, this weather. Is it right for pumpkin picking season? Well, one of our reporters found out. Stick around. We'll be right back on Inside the Newsroom after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Pumpkin picking season is here, but so are the unusually warm fall temperatures, as we just heard from Scott Munt. But our reporter Jordan DeSmit stopped by a pumpkin patch near Canton to see how people were enjoying the activities despite the weather.
From a pumpkin cannon to a pumpkin patch, there's no shortage of things to do at Riverview Christmas Tree Farm's 9th annual Pumpkin Festival.
There's really something for the whole family out here.
I've been playing with my friends on the bouncy houses, and I've been shooting the apple cannons with them.
Today, it's finally starting to feel like October, but the unseasonably warm temperatures we've had so far this fall has impacted attendance.
Yeah, the warmer temperatures probably had a little lighter crowds than normal. We expect to see everybody start showing up here in the next couple of weeks.
Owner Todd Gannon hopes to see cooler weather as the month continues.
We're definitely looking forward to the cool weather. Gets people in the pumpkin picking mood and get all the fall gear out and just really come out and enjoy a fall festival.
And I think the more fall starts to set in, the more people will be outside. I think we're all a little over summer.
But whether it was finding the perfect pumpkin or nailing a bank shot, on this day, families were enjoying some time together comfortably.
See the kids out, have a good time, and spend a little time outdoors. That's good enough for me.
And Jordan DeSmit joins us now at the digital desk. Jordan, did you get to shoot that pumpkin cannon?
I did not. That was a wasted opportunity. I should have asked, but I didn't.
You
But,
should have.
Yeah,
You were
I-
around there. That would have been so much fun. Did you at least get a pumpkin? Pick a pumpkin?
No,
Jordan.
Tell you what, but the people I live in a condo at a complex, and the people over there do a good job of decorating pumpkins around the complex. So I was not in need of a pumpkin.
It looked like you had a lot of fun for this story. Just rewatching it right here, I just couldn't help but like smile and laugh at what people were saying or the activities that were shown that you were able to capture. And you talked to a lot of people. How did you find the people for the story?
Well, for one, I talked to the owner, Todd Gannon. I called him beforehand, and we set that up. And then an event like this, it's people are happy, they're enjoying themselves there, so it's not that hard to find people. One of the kid I interviewed was actually owner's son. He was just sitting around. He's like, "Can I get interviewed?" I'm like, "Yep, absolutely. The more
Dad's
voices,
like, sure.
the better." Yep, go ahead. And then the next guy, it was my next try. I just stopped and said, "Hey, do you want to do a quick interview?" He said, "Absolutely." So something like this, it's pretty easy to find.
And spirits were pretty high, even though it's a fall activity, we want a little bit cooler sweater weather activity. People were enjoying the warmth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I think it got into the 90s over the past couple days, and I think people weren't really liking that, but I think people were enjoying that it wasn't as warm as it had been, right? I think it was 70s, 80s while I was there, and it was crazy how that was beautiful compared to what we had in the day or two before. So people were like, yeah, it finally feels like fall. It finally feels like October.
Yeah, and again, this is the pumpkin picking season. Like, now is the time. Did the owner have anything else to say about if people wanted to come out and pick for themselves, or how the produce has been growing this season?
Yeah, he said it's been a pretty good season so far, and then essentially like you go there and you actually kind of ride a train or like a shuttle down to the pumpkin patch, and then you kind of pick what you want. You come back up and you pay. From what I saw down to the pumpkin patch, it looked like there was plenty there. So go and get your pumpkins to make your jack-o'-lanterns or whatever you want to do with them. So
you got to go back. I know you said you're full of them, but I think you got to go get your pumpkin. But speaking of fall activities, our KELOLAND sports team has been covering some of the best matchups throughout the state. And Jordan, you've been able to do this too. Just speaking with like this fall season activity of football, big on the list. But it's so fun to see you being a part of local coverage, And so in what ways are you finding yourself getting excited to cover local football? Like, what parts are you most interested in?
I would say, like, I'm a former high school football player myself. I ended up going to college and playing too, and I've been able to cover football. Even in college, I was able to cover a lot of high school football. So I know I made some of my best memories playing football in high school, so I know exactly kind of the feeling of Friday Night Lights and playing in front of your home crowd. So these kids are doing some awesome things, and I love the fact that I can help highlight that.
And speaking just on like the coverage value of it, what have you learned more or appreciated more about covering local sports as you've been helping along with this football season?
I would say just the hometown pride. I'm from Iowa, so I'm still learning more and more about South Dakota high school football every day, and I'm learning who the powerhouse teams are and who typically is good, but also learning about, this team's good, that's a surprise, and I think it's really cool, just the hard work that these kids put into a season, from the players to the coaches, equipment staff, whatever, and being able to be someone that highlights that and puts a spotlight on that, I think is really cool.
Is there a story that you're most proud of, or like a shot that you captured that you were just like, yes, I got it, anything like that so far?
I would say for the most part for our high school football season, I've been able to be on the call for our live games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so honestly, this past weekend, we had a really good game between Lincoln and Brandon Valley, the highest class of South Dakota high school football, 11 AAA. And it was number 1 versus number 2 in a state championship rematch. And it came down to really the last play. And so just being able to be a part of that and capture that excitement, I think, is probably my favorite part of the season so far.
And it's not over yet. There's still games that KELOLAND Sports will be able to do. So, Jordan, can you give us a little bit of what our viewers can expect next for KELOLAND Sports coverage?
Yes, I just pulled it up my phone right here. So this upcoming Friday, I actually will not be on the call. I'm doing a news story that day, but we're covering a 9-man game, Alcester-Hudson and Del Rapids St. Mary. So that'll be a good one. October 17th, we're at Elk Point Jefferson. They take on Sioux Valley. And then Thursday, October 23rd, it is Huron at Brookings. And Huron is one of those surprise teams. They won 4 games last year. They've already won 5 this year. And they've played some of the best teams in their class. That game is also at STSU Stadium, Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. And then we're going to cover a quarterfinal playoff game and a semifinal playoff game. And obviously, we don't know those matchups because those matchups have not been set yet. So be on the lookout for that. You can watch it live on KELOLAND.com, Kelo Plus, and live on TV on Kelo Extra.
Jordan, do you think there's anything else our viewers should know about now that we're halfway through the season, right? At least locally. Is there anything else we should know about?
this is where it gets really exciting. This is where playoff seeding really starts to shape up. It's where we see some good matchups, and then especially once we get to playoffs, you never really quite know what's going to happen because everybody it's an elimination game. It's win or go home, and you get the best out of each team. So it's going to be fun. So buckle up.
I love it. Thank you, Jordan, and everyone stick around. We have more on Inside the Newsroom after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. 12 local runners, including our own Dan Santella, recently crossed the entirety of South Dakota in the 437 Project. And as Dan showed us in a recent Eye on KELOLAND story, those who ran had a wide variety of inspiration. And Dan joins us at the digital desk to talk about this story he created. But Dan, I want to start off for context for our viewers who may not know the difference between an Eye on KELOLAND piece versus something we just see every day on our newscasts. How would you describe that difference?
Length, number of interviews, time taken to put it all together, just a wider reaching, deeper diving story. You know, most of the reports we have are daily turns, assignment in the morning, script approval, video and script done and edited and submitted and filed and published before the day's over. And Eye on KELOLAND take much longer to come to fruition.
Right. We can have more interview time. We can have a longer time, not only to create the story, but also a longer time for that story. And, you know, you've been covering the 437 Project all of last week as you were a part of it. So why did you decide to save time for an eye story for the 437 Project? And why choose this angle of what inspires others?
There's just so many different components of the 437 journey. And so it really merited a big recap in an Eye on KELOLAND format. And there was obviously so much I couldn't include because, you know, there were just so many great thoughts from the different runners. At the crux of the whole effort is why they do it, right? That's the big question. That's the big point I want to explore. And it became clear that, okay, you need to dive deeper into the inspiration and what motivates them when the miles get long and the legs get heavy. And so that became clear that, okay, that would be then the focus. And then finding out, okay, what is driving each of the runners. And then, you know, they shared that so eloquently themselves.
Right. You know, one of my favorite lines from your story is this. I want to read it back just for our viewers and then obviously so you can hear it. But you said in your story, and I quote, "The metaphors are all over the place on the 437 Project's route. Highs, lows, hills, valleys, intense sun, dark night, a sunrise that finally arrives. Sometimes the valleys feel deeper than the hills' peak feel tall." So fascinating. I love those lines. And for your story, how did you want to balance, you know, something like this, your own narrative storytelling, along with the sound bites of the people that you interviewed?
The best way to often cover something is to be there in the moment as it's unfolding, right? And so you want to be able to take the viewer or the reader there, right? And so I want to have a photographic capture of what's taken place so I can bring people out there. And I want to share exactly what it felt like to be experiencing those things. And you know, you're just hit so profoundly by the geography of South Dakota and the size of South Dakota and just the enormity of crossing it on foot when you're out there. And of course, there are parallels between that and the whole mission of running for mental health, right? And so I think it was important to put that context around the story too, you know. And it's sometimes when you're writing, it rains, it pours, and that segment was one of those sections where it was like, oh, okay, I see what I'm going with here, right? Okay, keep cooking. What is happening out here? What are the examples, right? Find the metaphors. They're right there. Okay, because we all feel them, and they're just so many different ones, and kind of it's that gamut of emotions, right? From the biggest peaks and the biggest celebrations, and your teammates making that tripod of celebrating your runners, high-fiving as they go by, to the really tougher moments where you're thinking about and learning about the people who have suffered and passed away. And it's that whole uplifting and heavy at the same time.
Was it difficult to kind of tie all of those inspirations together? Because there really was a range, like you're just saying. Was that hard, or was that a challenge for you?
Sort of, yes, but in the end, not as really, because they're all inspirational, and then find the certain links, right? Because the links are there. For a lot of them, family was a big motivation, right? For a lot, service to others who might not be family or friends, but they feel a deep connection to. Kyle Blakesley as a first responder to communities who reach out and need their first responders. Israel Zins to other veterans, and then Laura Ringling's daughter had made those bracelets. While looking at the bracelet on one of my teammates' hands, Bennett McIntosh, there's a tattoo there that is really important to her, that's always with her, that serves as a motivational purpose. You just got to all link it, right? They're Legos, right, in a way, that you have to stack to make a cohesive story. But, once I had pages and pages, I think my notes for this piece in the end were 17 pages of notes that I had typed up on my computer. Wow. And so then I pick the sections that I want to grab for the story, and then kind of put them in another document. And then I kind of have this pile of quotes and pile of just my own musings. And then that's almost then the most fun part, because it's let's craft a narrative. Let's craft it. Okay, what's the best video I have? What do I absolutely want to share? How do I want to end it? What links with what? Because certain thoughts do. Laura Ringling's daughter's bracelets link with Bennett's commentary about her tattoo right next to the bracelet. Tony Knorr's commentary about how, I hope this serves as an inspiration to other people. That links well with Lexi Wojcicka's thoughts about she's doing this for all the moms out there. So different things pair well together. And then I also saw that, one quote I really liked from Brady Fox's dad was Brady, who died by suicide, and was a motivation from one of our teammates. Brady's dad said, Brady was such a team player. He was such a team player. Okay. Light bulb went off, because we're a team too. Team is what this is all about. Okay. Connect that, right? And then it all then we have a narrative and a story and an arc, right?
Wow. Dan, I love hearing about your little puzzle pieces that you put together for your storytelling, especially for a piece like this. And you took it's an incredible story to really tie everything together. And we're wrapping up on time, but is there anything else that you'd like our viewers to know about this specific story or about your journey covering the 437 Project?
This conversation matters. Mental health is so important. The resources are out there and ready. We all go through tough times. And as our teammate Bennett said, reach out to those who care about you. That can be the 988 helpline, texting or calling or chatting with that, family, friends, strangers. This is an important topic, and the conversations continue because these discussions have to happen.
Dan, I appreciate your time coming here to talk about this here at the Digital Desk and your coverage. Great job. And thank you for being here.
Thanks, Maddie.
No problem. And everyone, that's all the time that we have today for Inside the Newsroom. Just like that, breezes by. But don't worry, because we'll come back tomorrow and give you even more trending stories as the week develops. So until then, have a great day, everyone.